Hey everybody, tis I want to talk about Quiet on the Set. It's the recent Nickelodeon documentary about the dark side of Nick. My daughters weren't raised during Nickelodeon. They were prior to that in the 90s. My daughters were born, but I want to talk about the situation with Drake Bell, how he was tortured, sexually tortured by Brian. I don't remember his last name. I'm so sorry. But how Drake's father was always present with him, knew that guy Brian was off, way off, and refused to allow Drake alone with him until, unfortunately, Brian got a hold of Drake, convinced Drake to allow him to start managing him, and then convinced Drake's mom to take custody and kind of remove Drake's dad from the whole role as a father. Hence began the torture, sexual torture of this young man. And I am devastated for him. I actually cried. And I wonder, the one thing I wonder about is when you see all these stage parents, the ones that, the parents that put their little girls in pageants and hand them over to producers and things like that. If this doesn't teach us to stop allowing other adults to take control of our children and their livelihood, I don't know what will. Parents for years have tried to live through their children and get their children into acting and famous and on the internet, etc. And I've seen those pageant shows with those little girls who dress up like adult women in full makeup and skimpy suits and this and that. I'm still in shock that parents would hand their children over even after these documentaries come out. The one movie I saw recently was the movie about child sex trafficking. I wish it's not coming to my head right away, but a very popular movie that was not released for about 5 years. But in one of the first scenes, father, a wonderful father, has a little girl and a little boy, and there's a woman. I don't know if she was Miss Universe or Miss, I don't know what part she played. She was in pageants as well. Knocked on his door and said, your children would be wonderful in acting or some kind of a role. If you want to just drop them off tonight at 6 and then pick them up later, that would be great. And the father walked him to the door and saw a bunch of children in the room and thought, okay, they're safe because this is an adult I can trust. When he went back, all of the children were gone, including his, and his children were sold off to sex slavery. So you have parents who care, parents that really think they're trying to do their best, but parents, please wake up. I can't even imagine allowing another adult to take over for what I believe is the best interest for my child. A lot of these Nickelodeon stars have gone on to drugs, get into trouble with the law. A lot of them have been abused. You have to watch the documentary. It is sickening. And these people should be in jail. Just a bunch of Jeffrey Epsteins that are allowed to have access to children that mean them no good. So I just wanted to say I think it's very important we keep this in the light. Expose these people. Same people, Jeffrey Epstein's island. We need to expose people. Unfortunately, this is coming out, and it's very important it stays first and foremost so we can start to protect our children. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Please watch the documentary. You will never, ever look at Nickelodeon the same way again. So that's it. I'll be back.